minutes to master, tools to explore. Let your imagination soar like never before. AI Tool Time with Rick McCarley, where your digital dreams come true.
All right, here we are in Krea. So just to give you an idea, so this is an aggregator application or a wrapper application, meaning that within one subscription, and it's not that expensive, I'll take a look at that in just a minute, you have all these capabilities: generating images, generating video, real-time creation, right? Motion tracker, motion transfer, so you can turn one type of video into a different kind, 3D objects, and now Nodes is brand new. I'll show you that in just a second. We can upscale both still images and videos. We can edit pictures. We can do video lip sync. We can restyle video. That means you can put in a claymation and turn it into a real people animation. You can train it on your own assets, and you have assets that you can bring in, and then you have a gallery. Holy cow. All right, let's start with the nodes first, because last week we were kind of talking about this idea of nodes, and what that means. You could put in a still image, then you can have it create a close-up, car only, a picture, run different iterations, ideations, make it into a 3D object, give me a circle vision version of it, and then put a person coming in there and put it in a boat, plane, flying plane, blah, blah, blah. So that ability to go in there and to create nodes, is the agentic workflow that we're talking about all the time, right? That's what Adobe has in Firefly coming up in a program. And that's what Weavy, Weavy, is. Take a look for that if you're interested in doing this kind of thing on a big level. But let's start with just the basic image. Now, what's so cool about this? So here is oops, I don't have that image. So here's some images I created a while back. As you can see, some of these images are trained on my face. So over here to the left, you can really get to what this is by realizing you can use Krea, their own tool. You can use Flux, Nana Banana right here, and it tells you how much it costs, right? So how many compute points, and you get a couple of thousand really cheap here. So you can use ChatGPT, you can use Seedream, Qwen, WAN, Imogen, Ideogram. Yes, all of these in one place. So you literally can bring up an image. You can upload a image right here, and then you can go to find let's see if I use this model. Depending on the model you use, you can put up to 4 images for Krea, 8 seconds video, and then you can use styles. So style transfers allow you to upload and then put this in here. And then I'm just going to say picture of a man driving a motorcycle, vintage, steampunk, going at a fast speed, 100 miles an hour through a forest at night with lights all around. Magical. Okay, so you get that. Then you have your proportions that you can set here, just like most applications, and then you can generate. So what's it going to do? It's going to generate in sort of the style. I'm having a little difficulty getting going here, and then it's extremely fast. Now, what can I also do? Let me hide this for a second. I can image prompt. I can select assets, and there we go. So that's the style that it did. And it gives you 4 like you get in it in most other applications. And I can upscale it. I can turn it into a video. I can enhance it. I can download it. So I'm going to download that. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to load up a image. So I'm going to upload a picture. I've got a couple pictures on my hard drive. Let me see if I can find the one that I want this particular project. Here we go. So I got a portrait of myself I use quite often. So I'm going to use that as an image prompt. So that's when I put this image in here. And then I want to have, oops, I can't get this thing to behave. There we go. I'm going to make it 100% me. So I'm going to do the same thing, magical. Now, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take this particular style off, and I'll take a look at the assets I have available. which includes all of these images. So let's say I want to use this picture of me, sort of, as the angry man, and I'm going to try the same image using this as the prompt, and I'm going to generate it using Krea. While I'm still here, I'm going to switch on over to Nana Banana. And so somehow the motorcycle didn't happen. Oh, I see. I used it too much of the prompt there. So I need to reduce that. And Nana Banana, I'm going to upload an image. And I'm going to maybe pick that one that I just, let's see if I can find one that works for me. Let's go with this guy. I don't know where the picture just downloaded to. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to use that picture to give me a kind of a seed for this. And I'm going to reduce the amount of influence. In fact, I'm going to take off that one and just give this influence. I can also paint an image, pick the proportions, etc. Upload 3 photographs. So let me find my Krea one. Why am I having difficulty today? Finding the one thing I need, which is, photos fun. All right. So here's some examples of stuff, images that I've used already, just to give you some fun ideas here. So let me take this guy. Steampunk style is kind of fun. I'm going to use it to go with this one, and then I'm going to generate using Nana Banana. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. Then I could go over to WAN, I could go over to whatever I want, and I can also train it and use my own image model. Now, Nana Banana creates a little bit slower, but there you are. There's my steampunk magical place, and let's go ahead and enhance that. So enhancing it moves it on over to this window. You can see this is the enhance portion, still image. You can use all those different models, video creation, now enhancer. Enhancer has these different enhancers, including Crea's own, including Bloom, which is a brand new one. It's quite spectacular. 10K upscale. Here's Topaz. We're talking 22K. I'm going to try Bloom because I haven't tried it lately. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say, it described the image. So it's going to actually have the prompt here. Then I'm going to say, I want to go up to 4K. This might take, let's just go to 5,340. I could go up to 10,000 pixels with this particular tool. Face preservation, I want to keep that, and then I want to enhance it. Color preservation, I can also do. To give you an idea of what this looks like and what the quality is like, here's a picture I did just the other day. So let me show you first what it looks like from afar, and let me go zoom in to excruciating detail, far more than you wanted to see of my face here. But let me show you before and after. So you basically have this picture of me trained on my face, and you can train it on 50 of your faces. And then that's what it looks like before, and that's after. Even the detail of the suit. Then I tried a different model, and I'm going to zoom into this. Now, this is that model I just tried, and look at the difference in the face here. So it's a little bit more suggestive. So this Bloom model is what was used here, and you can see the differences. It actually reconstructed things. So it's a little bit more creative, but it also gave me some real detail in parts of it, like the glove and the leather. Look at these buttons. So this is the new Bloom model, but it also has Topaz, which is one of the best ones out there. I use it professionally out of Photoshop, but it's all right here. So you pick one that you want to use, and you can get up to 10,000 pixels in elevation. So if we come over here, takes a good 10 seconds, 20 seconds, we'll take a look at some other artwork that I've done previously. So here is, I think that's one that wasn't done. Yeah, these ones haven't done. And let me go in. Here's a very surreal scene. You've got sometimes the upscales don't work, and then let me go back and let me show you. So here are some assets. These are projects I've done recently. In fact, in the assets window, it keeps all the stuff you just did. So you can take a look at this video I did a little while ago. That's from a still image prompt, and then that got turned into a motion movie. And then I went and upscaled it. So now it's at 4K. I didn't really like the upscale. I think I used Topaz. I think I would use a different model next time. You kind of figure these things out as you go as to what kind of works for you, doesn't. But here's the prompt over here. But I could come over and upscale it more. I could download this. I could favorite it. I can enhance it. I can even edit it, even when it's a video. So back to the main window. This is stuff I've worked on. So I come in here and I do my tool time, which I haven't done the one for this one. This is entirely done right here. So I take an image with nothing there, and then I take an image with ideogram. So let's take a look at the video models. The video models work like this. So there's your start frame and end frame. So I start with a no picture there, no text there. Then I have an end frame and I have it create in between. Look at the models. This is every one of the latest one, including Sora 2 Pro. This is the state of the art model, right? So right here, you can go in and generate whatever you want, including here's a little factory still image. I had it create an animation. There's the animation, right? Here's one of a woman coming over to see me. So this is, they walk hand in hand. So this is Aria. We'll talk about that maybe next week, and we'll talk about romance. Maybe we'll wait till Valentine's Day, but that was entirely created right here. And I can sit there and do iterations. In fact, I can have it use sound. So I can add sound to this. I have no idea how this is going to work out. But with the WAN models and with the Sora Pro, you can actually take a still image and actually add dialogue if you wanted to. So I'm going to let it just add sound here. I have no idea what it's going to do. You probably won't be able to hear it. But you've heard last time I think I did the, yeah, let me see. It's still in the process of doing its job. I'm going to jump on over here to enhance module. Actually, I'm going to go over to watch all the stuff that I've done. So there's this image. I don't think this is the upscaled yet. Nope, that's not upscaled. So we're still waiting on the upscale window to, oh, here we go. All right, let's see how well it did. There we go. So you can see there's quite a difference. I'm going to go in really, really close. So there's before, right? So this is the new model. I'm still testing it out. I would guess that creativity setting set a little bit lower will keep me more in tune with what I was, but I ain't hating on this. This is pretty spectacular. Look at just the motorcycle detail. That's pretty incredible. And this is all one tool. So you can get set up if you were to set up these sequential events. So now what am I going to do? I'm going to download it, and perhaps I come over here to my assets and I say, you know what? I need to refresh, I think. Then I can turn this new asset into a video. So I just come over here, turn it into a video. Picture a man riding a motorcycle 100 miles an hour through the forest at night. Magical. Okay. So which model? I'm going to run it one time with Sora 2 Professional, and I can go up to 1080p. I'm going to run that. It's going to take a little bit. I understand. Okay. So it might take, sometimes it fails. I'll give you a fair warning that that can happen. And I'm going to go for a really quick one. So this, if I had a start frame or an end frame, this would be even better. But the reason why I'm doing Sora is it allows, so it's going to take 8 minutes. This is only going to take a minute to generate. So while that is cooking up, I'm going to come over here and maybe try Hailuo fast. Here we go. Dynamic model. And you can see the 1 minute is pretty real time, right? So your request is OpenAI safety system. I have no idea. There's nothing I tried to do there that would, kind of justify that. But then we've got this image at nighttime. Now, if I had picked a start frame and an end frame and a model that supported it, you can see some of them give you the start frame and the end frame, and others don't. Real time is literally real time. Let's go ahead and generate that while we're here. So you basically queue up all these projects and it tells you how long it's going to take. And then you just kind of wait around for that to happen. And meanwhile, and this completely blew it. So it wasn't, while this is using Krea real time, it was fast, but it's working only off of this. So that's it. So you're going to get decent video, but it's got nothing to do with what I put in there as a picture because it's not using the picture. Whereas this one, as soon as it's done, we'll do a couple of rounds and laps, and you'll see what the WAN 2.1 does, and you won't be, failed job you're not going to get charged for. This is Hailuo fast. You can see it's at 59%. That's the fastest one, obviously, the Krea real time. So what else can we do? We can take this video when it's done and upscale it with any of those things. Oh, here we go. Now we got it, and we can add audio. So that's not bad. It's a lot darker than it started. I probably should have put a start frame and an end frame. If this were Sora doing it, it would be much better quality and more in keeping with everything, but pretty close. And now it's going to generate audio. And while we're waiting on that, we're going to go over to our real-time window. So this is an image on the right is producing an image on left, excuse me, is making an image on the right. If I dial in the strength, this is real-time rendering. So I'm going to take this image out, and I'm going to take this image away, and then I'm going to prop up the strength. And I'm going to bring in a canvas background that is textures. So let me play with this. And then basically, this is saying, take this picture, translate it through this of a woman profile, mermaid swimming inside her head, coral reef, and then apply this style right here. So let's see, as I go in real time, it's taking the prompt, interpreting it through this image. Ooh, wow. Okay. And then you have a way to quick enhance. So let's say that you get to a point where you kind of played with this. So this is using more of the image on the left. This is more of the image on the right. And there you've got a mermaid inside. That mermaid doesn't look right. AI, there you go. Right. And you have models that include real-time video. So literally you can have it point at your face. So I can add a camera. And then as I move, take a look at this. So it is rendering in real time video from me moving around. Now, if I add more AI strength, it's going to interpret it more with the prompt, and I can capture at any point. It's not turning out so well, so I'm going to turn that off for a minute. But I can bring in an image. So if I upload a picture, let me see if I've got something, something dangerous man like. I'll just pull up this picture of myself because, oh, nope, that one, this one. All right, so here's just a picture of me. All right, so let's see what happens to that. Okay, again, not pretty. And I think I want to stop this crazy thing. Stop capturing, stop capturing. Let's refresh the video. Okay, there we go. So now we've got this image. So let's move on from the video model to HD quality. So this would be photographic quality. Ooh, look at this. So it's taking and move it. It's generating what's on the left. Here is my slider for my style. We'll take a look at that in a minute. And here is the so this is taking the picture on the left and giving all the strength to that. This then takes the prompt and gives this privilege to that. Then you can come down here and you can pick a style, which you can pick from all of these. So take a look at these. Here's one I really love to use. In fact, let me use this one right now. So this is trained on these pictures. So I can use that training and style and take a look at what happens when I go to regenerate this image. So let me switch to photo mode. Sometimes it gets a little bit slowed down. That's a lot to throw at it at once. It's going through this filter, hopefully. Come on. Yeah, it's kind of died on me. Sometimes that happens. I might have to come back, or just let me refresh here for a second. You can also change the model proportions. And here is, I'm going to increase the amount of this, and I'm going to change the model to Flux real time. There we go. And I'm going to change the model that it uses. So you can also have your own pinned models. I like this one in particular. So I'm going to use these images, add that style. that becomes an input here. And as I move this around, you can see that the amount of style effect I put on it generates the prompt. As I move this around, perhaps it looks at what's going on in the picture. If I had a picture of a mermaid, I could potentially use that. So here's if I get rid of my picture, look at what happens. What if I come down and I let it interpret that a little bit more? So when I get to something that I kind of like that, right? I could come in here and do a quick enhance, and it just takes that and upreses it real quick. You can immediately then download it. It's 8 seconds basically each time, and it gives you a high res version that usually is a little more photorealistic for the most part. But you can see that your input and a prompt, you've just got incredible potential. Um, and then maybe, and I want to download it here. I can also take it if it's super nice, and I can go over and really create all kinds of stuff. Couple things about Krea. Oh, look how beautiful that is. That's just lovely, right? So I can change my style instantly and see what it does. Here's another style, more photorealistic. Look at that. Here's another style. Or I could just hit, ooh, I like that one. Okay. But I want it to be a little bit more. So I have to put in a background over here. Maybe I start with a picture. Be careful because this could produce a woman. Ooh, okay, so yep, I'm gonna stop that for a second. Maybe drop the screen for just a second, Brandon, if you would. Um, but let me go bring up in a new canvas and go back to a different image to start with. So you could generate an image right there, an igloo. There we go. I'm gonna go run that. So here is and figure model, art model, woman, curvy, posing, glamorous. Okay, so I'll just use this art model. So the art model.
I'm sorry. I was monitoring the dump button.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I think. Oh, yeah, we're maybe not safe here with this prompt. Uh, uh, I'm going to have it generate this igloo thing because that's going to be more interesting, I think. But you know what? Let me just change it real quickly here. Beautiful woman, high fashion on a black sand beach in Iceland, waves crashing on the shore. Spectacular long red dress flowing behind her, a wedding dress seen from a drone's eye view. Cliffside, ice in the background. So literally, there's the image that it's going to somehow be influenced by. If I already go all the way down, then my igloo thing becomes a real thing on the right. You can see that, right? I'm going to delete that.
Yes.
And I'm going to put this back. So you can see this is basically the image that I made in Midjourney a long time ago, and it's using that to interpret. So then when I come over here, then it gives me my drone's eye view.
As we get ready to land the plane on Krea, don't forget to mention that the hack that you found with Meta as it relates to Midjourney, because I know that was kind of a surprise to some people.
Yeah. So if you go to AI, Meta AI, you can get into. Let me finish this one real quick, and then I'm going to go on. So not only do you have all these things, plus there's tools that I don't even use every day that are just spectacular. Real-time video is kind of what you were looking at there. Literally, the picture on the left influences the picture on the right, and you dial back the influence, and then you change your thing here. Something I do use. I don't know why this resolution somehow just kind of crapped out here. Let me try HD. HD is extremely fast. I've generated incredible high quality work. Right now, it seems to be just fast in real time. This whole thing is, and the randomize of different things. And so here's another fjord kind of situation or whatever. All right. So the other thing that I do want to mention is training. So one of the things is I have trained it on my own assets, which includes me as a steampunk warrior. So you can take a look at what that brand looks like. So literally, and I've done one from my children's book. Oops, a little bit of slip there at the bottom. And then if I generate based on this, it's using my face and my steampunk look. And I can quickly say, man sitting at a roll-top desk with a lamp illuminating a mysterious library of mystical dreams and magical art. Okay. And then I can just go ahead and take that and then make it generate based on that. So that man's going to be me because it's trained on that face in a sort of steampunk environment. And there you go. Super quick. Again, that's with the Flux model. And then I could switch it over to Krea or Nana Banana or ChatGPT or Seedream. And just as quickly sit there and ideate, iterate as much as I want, change the proportions wherever I want, and then turn that into a video in 10 seconds. To go right back to the assets, because we had a couple things cooking, I just want to show you how fast this is. So, I mean, this is a complete different model. So this is using, it typically tells you which model it's using. I could download all these pictures at once. I can sit there and do magical stuff. And you can see this is very different than this one, which is based on the high quality image that I looked for within Krea. So if we go back and we take a look at the assets real quickly, I'm going to try to land the plane here. Here's all the stuff we just did, right? Here's the image that we could take off and upscale that we just created. And if we go take a look for the videos, here's the video. And I don't know if we did this with sound or not. Oh, this is one we didn't even see. So this was done, I don't even sure. And I could go over and upscale this video now and extend it as long as I want. So the idea of this prompt chain thing is, let me see, I think it's maybe this one that has the sound. Let's see. Yeah, typically I haven't been too excited about the sound that it creates, but that's Krea in a nutshell. And there's so much more. I could literally spend days in here. And you know, sometimes I know exactly what I want, but you can see that I've used it to train myself for my artwork on fantasy warrior princesses that I was doing. These are all my steampunk images that that I've kind of created. And you can take a look and add more. And then which models that I've used it for. So for my Imagine world, here's all the images that I trained it on. So use with Flux and publish them. And you can share them with other people. And you can trigger word is Krea. You get the idea. So it's just a spectacular thing. And there's even tutorials built in. I didn't even get to edit, which you have generative fill, generative expand, and everything else you want to do. So when I was working on this, you can actually rewrite the text. That's built in as a capability. And then you could generate changes to make this a widescreen or whatever you want it to be. Here's one I was working on. This is a set of tarot deck cards. It's called Birth of a Star. It's a little bit slow on my internet right now. This is one about the Roman. This has been upscaled and then expanded for the width that I wanted. Here's another image that I worked on called Birth Star that I did some variations on. So you can come in here and you can start with your simple models and then expand them horizontally, vertically, in-paint, out-paint. So in this particular one, it started with this image, and then I out-painted to get this, and then this version. Then I could take this over, add it to my list of things, and I could generate 4 and tell it what I want to get at each momentum point. Then your assets is a place where you can go see everything that you've done. I think I flushed out most of the stuff that was not really great to show folks, but I'm doing, you know, literally every day I'll take stuff that I create in Ideogram and upscaling it. This you might recognize. This was entirely created in here. And there's the sound. So that's from our Firefly episode. I also recreated the same thing in Firefly and got a bit different results, but that's where I came from, right? And even this is just that's the low res. Oh, here is the up res, I believe. Let's see. Yeah. So this is an up resolution of that image that I used of the, and this is cleaned up the face, fixed a few things. I want to try some other of the new upscaling tools. All right, so real quickly, I'm going to go over to, I believe it's Meta.ai.
Yeah,
See if
Meta.ai.
that's it. Yeah. So here, and this is, I've already, these are stuff that's being created. So you basically have Meta video tool that is using Midjourney to create images. Holy cow. So you can go to Create Room and you just do like everything else. So just to give you an idea, this is something I did just yesterday, and you can add audio. So this is a video I created. I did the prompt in Midjourney originally, and then I can restyle it like a chicken or a space cadet, and then I can hit regenerate. So here is some iterations I did. Here's a nice little face, vertical, and then you can't hear it here. Let me see. Oh, it's playing a Mad Mad World as it gives you this image, right? One of my favorite songs. This one is playing, let's see, is this the video? Yeah, this is the video. Oh, here we go. And it's playing songs. Oh, I got to add music. So you can add music, and they have a bunch of stuff like trending songs. I wish there was Mad World. Let's do See You Again. I don't know. It's not that kind of thing. Let me try. So then that's
But
appropriate.
I
Gives you
think
about 5
the
seconds.
punchline here, yeah, I think the punchline here is that Meta is basically giving you a limited preview of Midjourney free inside of their platform, and Midjourney is not something that you can traditionally get for free.
Right. And then you have some tools that you don't have in Midjourney. Most everything, though, your prompts included, will work right here. So you don't have to reinvent your prompts. So I actually iterated these. This is just adding the music. But if you go down through my iterations, directed dreaming, that was the prompt in Midjourney. And this is what I got. You can come in here and these are just different prompts. So directed dreaming gave me this and this and this. And you pick the one that you like and say, just like that. You can make it your favorite, download it. And then these are all just the words directed dreaming. And then I animated, and then you could add music. So you could take a complicated prompt that you do in Midjourney, and then you can animate it here for free. So you're not paying the $30 a month that I'm paying, or I'm paying $60 a month because I keep running out of credits. I mean, I'm a madman, so I don't expect it. But you get the same quality that you get right in Midjourney, and you have this restyle tool. So let's make her into a robot. I have no idea. I haven't. And you can extend the animation so longer and longer and longer. So you can get easily a 20-second video out of this. In fact, this is, I believe, at 8 to 10 seconds. Look at this, raw style 800. So you can put your SREFs in here. And then what it's going to do is actually create an SREF right here. So let me see if I can find a still image that it maybe will remake for me. Let's try this one. And then you have these browsers where you can take a look at these particularly sort of like SREFs, right? So I want to reimagine that as Art Deco style, apply that style, and it's going to generate that image up here at the top. So I don't have enough time here, I think, to land the plane and get out of here. But the world that I would suggest, the thing about Krea that I would highly recommend about it is that you have a chance to try out every tool that there is. So it's not just one particular tool that you're making images with. And if you have any ideas of what you want to do, here's what the prompts were to get to this place. So on that, this image that I created, I was working on. And you can also go back up and copy and paste it, right? And put it in here, and then try that same one. Oops. So properly. Okay, so that pasted it. Let me see. I can't. Oh, I upscaled that. That's what's. No, it's not pasting. But I could take this one, copy it, paste it, and I could say, real photograph of a witch in a forest. Real photograph of a witch in a forest. And I could pick a style, rich witch, like this one here. Add that style, and then I can use Crea's. Oh, I'll generate right now. I'm not sure it got my whole thing there. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to change that. Can you change it? Let me make it this one and do the same generation. Oops, I'm not sure it got the same prompt. And we've got a new look, right? So we go from this sort of fantastical look, right? And we've got a particularly a new look, right? So we go from this sort of fantastical look, right? And we've got a particularly a new look, right? So we go from this sort of fantastical look, right? And we've got a particularly a new look, right? So we go from this sort of fantastical look, right? And we've got a particularly a new look, right? So we go from this sort of fantastical look, right? And we've got a particularly a new look, right? So we go from this sort of fantastical look, right? And we've got a particularly a new look, right? So we go from this sort of fantastical look, right? And we've got a particularly a new look, right? So we go from this sort of fantastical look, right? And we've got a particularly a new look, right? So we go from this sort of fantastical look, right? And we've got a particularly a new look, right? So we go from this sort of fantastical look, right? And we've got a particularly a new look, right? So we go from this sort of fantastical look, right? And we've to just changing the word to photo, and then trying out some different models. So it's an iteration ideation workstation, right? I kind of like this
Yeah.
one. So then I just come over here and turn it into a video. Bingo, I'm over in video, and I just take that same thing, and I pick my model here, and maybe I want something quick, real-time Krea. Let's do that, and then generate.
I
Ooh,
think
and
you're.
that didn't bring the image in.
I think the Aurora Borealis this week might be
Oh,
messing with your internet
oh, okay. Oh,
because
yeah, okay.
we're
Well, I think we could
you are
probably end
getting
it there, but choppy?
just
Okay.
very choppy.
Yeah, I think,
But before
yeah,
we
go on.
leave,
If you're up north, go and enjoy it. Yeah.